Over his 20-year career, Giroud has featured for 7 clubs, scoring more than 250 goals. During this time, he has won a league title in France and Italy, a Champions League trophy, a Europa League trophy, and multiple FA Cups during his time in England. In addition to that, he has won the big one for his country, the 2018 FIFA World Cup, and at the time of recording, he is France's second all-time top scorer, only 3 goals behind the legendary Thierry Henry. Clearly, those numbers are not a fluke. He must have done something right. But if you ask Arsenal fans how good was Giroud at Arsenal, you'll get answers like, he was just okay. He cost us the Premier League title in 2016. If it wasn't for him, we would have done better in the Champions League. He divided opinion amongst fans, and I'm sure for you watching this, you also have your thoughts on Giroud. So, with that said, let's answer this question. Was Giroud a success or a failure at Arsenal? Summer of 2012, Arsenal signed Lucas Podolski, Santi Cazorla, and Olivier Giroud. In the same window, Arsenal sold their starman Robin van Persie to rivals Manchester United, but only 2 months later. So the first question that needs some clearing up is, was Giroud an RVP replacement? Now, there is a couple of conflicting reports on this topic. According to some credible sources, back then, Arsene Wenger wanted to play Giroud together with Robin van Persie, but according to Arsenal scout at the time, Jules Grimandi, Giroud was actually a direct replacement for the Dutch striker, who had chosen not to extend his Arsenal contract. If that was the case, the pressure on the new 10 million striker must have been enormous. He was replacing a guy who had just scored 48 Premier League goals in the past 2 seasons for the Gunners. Nevertheless, Giroud knew where the goal was. He had just won the French League Golden Boot with 21 goals, been included in the team of the season, and led Montpellier to their first ever league title. He had a slow start to his Arsenal career, not scoring a Premier League goal in the first 2 months. He finally made his breakthrough in a 3-1 win against West Ham. He only scored 3 goals in the next 10 Premier League games, but one of those games was a 5-2 win against North London rivals Spurs. He also chipped in with a couple of assists in the Champions League. Despite an inconsistent start, Arsenal fans started to warm up to the French striker, even coming up with a chant. Not bad at all. That is actually regarded as one of the best Arsenal chants ever. Giroud eventually finished his first season with 17 goals and 11 assists in 47 appearances, 11 of those goals in the league. Several things became clear after his debut season. 1. He needed time to settle in. 2. He did require a few opportunities to score and was not the most clinical striker. 3. He was not only a finisher but also a team player, hence the 11 assists. 4. He was very good in aerial situations. So, what do you do when you have a striker who needs a lot of service and is a very good header of the ball? I know what you do. You sign Mesut Ozil, the top creator in La Liga, with over 80 assists in just 3 seasons at the Bernabeu. Surely, this was said to be a match in heaven. In their very first game together, Ozil assisted Giroud's goal in a 3-1 win against Sunderland. He improved on both his goal and assist tallies that season, scoring 22 and providing 12 assists. He was also a crucial part in Arsenal's FA Cup run, scoring twice against Everton in the quarter-final, converting his penalty in the shootout in the semis, and assisting Ramsey's winning goal in the final against Hull. In total, he had 3 goals and 2 assists in 5 FA Cup games, helping the Gunners end their 9-year drought without a trophy. He only featured 27 times in the league the following campaign after missing 3 months with a tibia injury. He still managed 19 goals that season though. One of those goals against Man City at the Etihad. That is still the last time Arsenal won a league match at the Etihad. He also scored in the Community Shield and in the FA Cup final as Arsenal retained that trophy. His most infamous game in an Arsenal shirt came that year in the Champions League round of 16 first leg match against Monaco, where he had 6 shots, all 6 off target.
To Sanchez, carried away, and then Olivier Giroud fires over the bar.
3 of them absolute sitters. And safe to say, Arsenal fans were not happy with that performance.
He's absolutely useless. He is useless. I'm sorry. Do not ever tell me he's a good striker.
Many Gunners shared the same opinion after that match. So, should Arsene Wenger have sold him after that campaign, or was he right to stick with him? Well, the stats in the next season kind of showed he was right in some way. In the 2015-2016 campaign, Giroud enjoyed his best ever campaign in an Arsenal shirt, scoring 24 goals, 16 of them in the league. This is actually weird because this was also the season he frustrated Arsenal fans the most. Between mid-January and May, Giroud endured a 15-game run in the Premier League without scoring a single goal. Yes, despite getting 24 goals that campaign, he went 4 months without scoring a goal. And no, it wasn't like chances were not being created. Ozil actually enjoyed his best return in terms of assists, notching up 19 Premier League assists, which could have easily been 30 if the forwards were converting those chances created. You will not be surprised to hear that during Giroud's 15-game drought, Arsenal won only 6 games, failing to score against the likes of Stoke City, Southampton and Sunderland. Dropping points in all those games obviously, and also dropping more points against the likes of Swansea and Palace. To make it worse, that is the year the Gunners capitulated, leaving Leicester to create their own piece of history. Another thing I should add is that his goals that season came in batches where he would score a brace, then go 3 games without a goal, score a hat-trick, then blank for the next 5 games. In the 2016-2017 season, he had one of the highlights of his career, scoring a scorpion kick against Crystal Palace, the goal earning him the FIFA Puskas Award. There was deja vu in the FA Cup that season as he assisted Ramsey's winning goal once again in the final. That summer, Arsenal splashed £50 million for Lyon striker Alexander Lacazette, and several questions emerged from that. Was he going to play together with Olivier Giroud, or was he going to be his replacement? Well, that question was answered very quickly as Giroud only spent 5 months of that campaign at the Emirates before departing for Chelsea in the January transfer window. A record of 105 goals in 253 games, some exceptional strikes along the way. So, was this a good enough return? Should Wenger have replaced Giroud earlier? Did he overstay his welcome at Arsenal? Now, I bring this up because, interestingly, Giroud was asked about the difference between his time at Arsenal and his time at Chelsea, and this is what he had to say. At Chelsea, when you're not scoring enough goals, they might pick up another striker to replace you. Maybe in a club like Chelsea, you have less time to show your qualities than at Arsenal. That's the main difference, and the last 10 years show that Chelsea have won more trophies. You have to be good sooner. You'll probably hear a lot of different opinions on this one, but one thing is for sure, he was definitely a good striker, but one of the most frustrating ones. He's literally the only player in the world who can make his own top 30 of exceptional goals and in the same season make his own top 30 of exceptional misses. That is Olivier Giroud for you. So, what do you think of him? Was he a success at Arsenal, or was he a failure? As mentioned earlier in the video, Olivier Giroud was not the only player signed in 2012. A certain Santi Cazorla arrived from Malaga as well. So if you want to take a look at how good Santi Cazorla was, click on the video on screen and I'll catch up with you on the next one.